What's up, folks? This is Tuff Love Bunny, and welcome to, or should I say welcome back to my replay of Clive Barker's Undying, because I have attempted a playthrough of this game before, but that one was cut short because of technical difficulties. Yeah. Anyway, I'll explain more as I progress through the game, because I just want to get over with this one. There's a number of reasons why I always wanted to do a Let's Play of this one, but I'll just explain further on. Always look at the hand first, because I can't really think of... I don't really have what I have to say, can't think of what I want to say or what I should say. I don't have it readily in my mind, but it'll come back to me. Or not. I don't care. There's just a cutscene, no subtitles, I'll shut up.
I'm tired of traveling, or fighting superstition in its many manifestations. Even though it was me who chose to debunk folklore and mysticism. Little did I know I'd end up being labeled as Patrick Galloway, the man with endless occult knowledge. Before I knew it, people all over the world paid me to investigate all kinds of weird things. As long as they paid me, I'd look into it. Funny thing though, the more I saw, the more I believe there are forces beyond our control. Creatures not explainable in any human terms. Things that make my skin crawl. I fled from Ireland and hung around Paris and London with no real purpose till the Great War started. I joined a special unit whose job it was to squelch the fears of the superstitious farm boys who made up the fighting ranks. The Trasanti were the biggest pains. The commanding officer, Jeremiah Covenant, led our unit on the hunt for their camp. We were ambushed. They came streaming out of the woods, waving swords and howling like banshees. I saw their leader holding a strange stone over his head, yelling weird words in a strange tongue. And just when he was gonna pull the trigger, he glared right at me. A bright green flash came from his hand, and it bowled me over as my gun went off. I woke up in a hospital bed with severe burns. They told me Jeremiah and the unit had gone on without me, but he'd given me the shaman stone to keep. I hadn't given any of this much thought until I came back here to find this letter that Jeremiah wrote me almost 6 months ago, asking me to come back to Ireland and help him out. This is not something I'm dying to do, for it may mean the death of me. He saved my life though, so I owe it to him. Just hope it's not too late.
Feels good to be back. The things that I have to say, there's so much things that I have to say. Let's first mute the thunder a little so I can hear myself think. So, yeah, I widescreened the game, which wasn't easy. I've done it before, I did it again, and I don't remember how. So, what I did was, I widescreened the game successfully once. Many eons ago. Well, last year, I think. And then I copy-pasted the innards, the system file folder, onto a hard disk. And that's how I widescreened it again on my new rig, because I did that on my older rig. Right. That's one thing I had to get off my chest. Then, yeah, other thing I did is... Thunder! Fart! I applied a resolution texture pack. Loud noises! I'm gonna stand somewhere safe, otherwise those rats are gonna gnaw at my feet. Not unlike the ones in Kingpin, Life of Crime. Those rats really have it in for you, and they clip through the wall like you wouldn't believe it. That's how... Anyway, I applied a better, or an improved texture pack thing mod to it, which I got from an Italian fan site. And it looks a tad better. At least some of the really smudgy textures are gone, because they were real eyesores in the vanilla. Why do they even call it a vanilla game? I don't know. But some of the textures were really smudgy and like as if they were just thrown on there and like they didn't care. And waving their hands around as well. But anyway, loud noises. That being said, the texture pack, that's another thing I had to get off my chest. And loud noises. Yeah, the main problem with this game is that even if you have played it before, you will miss out on a lot of things. If you play it blind, it is very unforgiving. Like, for example, in some areas, the game allows you to backtrack or retrace your steps. But then in some areas, it pretty much is just, once you cross a certain threshold, there's no going back to the previous area. And the game can be very unforgiving in that way. Because you will miss out on... You can even miss out on a spell at one point, like the... What was it? Some sort of a resurrection spell that you really need when you go up against the Skelly warriors. And, yeah. But anyway, that's why... What I'm trying to get at is... That is why I am using a loot... Well, not really a loot location guide. It is a amplifier, mana well, and arcane whirl type of tattoo location guide. So, because you really don't want to miss out on those. Because if you like... The guy or the person or the female person or the girl or the guy who compiled this list said something like, I think I found them all. I think I found all the locations and I've listed them here, but if you come across another location, please let me know because I have no idea or no way of checking out whether I have a complete list here. So even this person probably did an even more thorough playthrough of the game, and even this person isn't certain on whether he or she has gotten all the amplifier, the amp, whirl, and mana well locations. But I'm going to use that I'm probably going to miss a couple anyway. But as I said, if you go into this game blind, the first playthrough is never going to be as... It's a very unforgiving and unrewarding experience playing through it the first time around. You have to give it a few second goes. Oh yeah, and there's another thing is... A lot of the backstory or background information in this game is conveyed through the journal. Yes, this thing. I'm in the journal right now because of the thunder and the rats that really have it in for you. So there will be a bunch of reading, and although I think the most of the writing was done by Clive Barker himself, it appears to be as if it was written like in a style, well... It's a style of writing that was common, or it appears to have been common at the start of the 20th century, or at least the 1920s. I think this is set in the 1920s. The style of writing is, like, it tries to emulate the style of writing of the early 20th century, so it's kind of weird to read already, but I'll give it my best. The font and the font color and the it's very hard to read. The font is weird. The typography is like it's a mess. And then the background that the text is set on makes it even harder. But I'll give it a go because it's a lot of the creepy stuff and the information. The story is mostly conveyed through the said journal. Okay. Let's continue this. I want to get over with it. Get on my way. See if everything is properly bound. Oh, wait, I have to go back into the water. This was kind of nice. The first time I played this, I never actually made good use of this wheel, but it's essentially like you can assign 2 weapons or 2 spells if you have a secondary spell. At this point I only have Scrying, and it allows you to quick toggle between them. There appears to be a bit of a problem here. Hang on. Okay, yeah, because I have a few mouse buttons assigned. Because every time you scry, this is one of the abilities you have, you can see things in the past or things that are, beneath your common perception, or you know, it's beyond your common perception, so you have to scry to get clues. And they can be quite cryptic, and not always that helpful. Yeah. Okay, let's go check, let's do some monster spotting first, monster sighting. I have to touch the gate. Okay. Howlers? Yeah. And then there's this guy, who apparently, although he is behind this gate, this iron gate, he wasn't really behind it. He was sort of like clipping through it, or like at least the image was, the gate was not obscuring his image. Don't know why they did that, or whether that's a glitch. But I can't wait to get out of this thunder. It's giving me the willies.
You're Jeremiah's old war buddy, right?
Indeed.
Why are you gardening outside when there's a thunderstorm coming? How's about a bottle of stout? Say the line. I can wait. I'll just dance on these donuts for a bit. Say it.
You thirsty? I've got a couple of stouts hidden away.
Thank you. I thought you'd never ask. Let's get plastered. That doesn't really do anything. It's just, the hangman and the rats are drinking his blood. Oh, the horror. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not a huge fan of Clive Barker. I've played Jericho on my now defunct channel. Well, my long defunct channel, I should say by now. I'm not a huge fan of him. I tried reading some of his literature, and my main problem with Clive Barker is that whenever I read it, I just can't seem to find any characters to latch onto, so it's always like very weird to read. But yeah, there is something to it. It's just not my thing. Let's do some reading. A spell that allows me to see and hear past events from the geographic location in which I happen to be standing. It also casts an ethereal light on enemies in darker areas, giving me the ability to see my foes as well as find my way. I must be careful in its use, as it has no offensive power, and it seems to drain my energies for a short duration. Learned men have stated that they believe that man has yet to unlock the full potential of the mind. While traveling to the Orient, after the war, I met up with a local seer who told me that I was one of the chosen few. One of only a handful of individuals. I should slow down the reading because there's nothing more annoying than a person who reads something and is reading too fast. That he had ever met that had this ability. He called it scrying. Yes, that's what they call it in the Far East, scrying. That's a Gaelic or an English word, or maybe an Anglo-Saxon word, or maybe even a Norwegian or Scandinavian word. To be able to read portions of the past. Most of the people who possessed this power, he said, over the course of their lives, eventually fell into disability. Mine tired from the barrage of images and sounds that could be heard from both the past and the present, the real and the unreal engine. I know I have the ability to scry because of the subtle words I hear calling within me at times. If you hear voices, you should see a shrink, Patrick. We've talked about this. Or at least take your medicine. Begging me to look deeper into the past. Deeper at what actually isn't even in front of me. But I am truly wondering if this is the gift I dreamed of as a sick curse placed on me by an outside force. It's my gun, my trusty revolver, a 6-shot weapon forged of metal grate, durable and lightweight. My military piece has seen many a country and spilled much blood over the years. The Gelziabar stone. I have carried this artifact ever since the day Jeremiah gave it to me, following the battle with the Tranti. Maybe I should do an Irish accent. No, we're not going to do that. I don't want a butchered accent. It seems to throw out a shockwave. No, that's Scottish. Of considerable force, and ever since I acquired the stone, I have noticed strange sightings and visual anomalies. However, the power of the stone has its dark side. On occasion, a beast from beyond this world has attacked me. My only explanation for its appearance is that I was using the stone's power for too long. I have not seen the beast for a while, of course, but that I have not needed the stone. Yeah. Let's go inside. It's really getting scary out here, and those rats are... They're really... I think they're, like, planning a full-on attack and assault at this point. It's coming for me. No! It's gonna chomp on my feet. Ow! Let's go inside. That was totally uncalled for, but it was kind of fun.
I'm Patrick Galloway, a friend of Jeremiah's. Sorry it took me so long to get here. His letter said it was most urgent.
Jeremiah was beginning to think that the letter never arrived in your hands. He's been quite anxious to see you. We've all been quite worried. Jeremiah's now bedridden. Follow me and I'll show you to his living quarters. I apologize for the look of the house, but there's only a skeleton crew of servants now. Jeremiah let go of everyone else, and the house is much too large for us to clean. Because we've lost electricity to most parts of the house, we can only maintain the living quarters. This family's had so much tragedy. I hope you can help him.
I must say, the texture pack does make the game look a little bit better. Yeah, because some of these textures were like really just tossed on there. Like, we don't care. It's just a game with Clive Barker's name on it. It'll sell. I think this is Aaron A. Aronson, or Aaron Covenant. Could be the other guy. There's another one. The other character that is voiced by Clive Barker himself, with the weird voice that he should get checked. Oh, I took damage. I forgot that from that rat. And now we will see... He's like the painter, right? Yeah. Ominous music. I have no guts, no jaw, and no skin, apparently. No, he still has a bit more skin there. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. Pick up the map pack. There is a hidden area behind here, and that's a shooting gallery, but I'm not gonna do that because it's a waste of time, and you will notice soon enough that the gun physics or hit detection in this game is finicky at best. Yes, now let's talk to Jeremiah. Cutscene, no subtitles, I'll shut up.
Patrick, you made it.
At your service, Jeremiah. Sorry for the delay, but I've been abroad. What happened to you?
It seems I've come under the watchful eye of the Reaper, my friend. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Apparently too long.
Patrick, I came back from the war only to find my entire estate in disarray. My brother Aaron disappeared first, and then my sister Bethany. My declining health is a result of an old war wound, and unfortunately, the symptoms are irreversible. I didn't summon you here to watch me die. I need your help.
Anything I can do. Just name it.
Strange events began happening around the manor. After thinning out my staff, they ransacked my estate, taking whatever they could carry. The rest of the help was quick to follow, as they feared rumors of my family's curse. I can't help but think it's more than a coincidence that strange happenings have increased since I've been back from the war. I want to get to the bottom of this, but I'm just too weak to investigate it myself. I'm relying on you to step in for me.
Of course, Jeremiah. The only reason I risk coming back here is to assist you however I can.
My thanks to you, Patrick.
What the hell is that?
Sounds like it came from downstairs.
I'll check it out. Lock the door behind me.
mean, oh yeah, I gotta save occasionally. I'll make it, because I've been saving on this one before. Yeah, they're probably also. Also, a rather unforgiving thing is, the game has a tendency to overwrite previous save games, like, without asking or prompting. That, you know, like, if it has a quick save slot and a autosave slot, and then you have to be very careful, because sometimes it auto-saves as you pass through a certain area. It will auto-save, and you could go like, oh crap, I forgot that area, I have to go back, I'll just load the game again, and it's like, oh no, I can't, it overwrote the save game. Oh, too bad. Wait, if that happens, if this happens again, like if the game, like I go through an area, it overrides the save game, and I want to go back to the area, and if I notice that the save game, I can no longer just load a previous save game because it was overwritten. The only way to go back to that area is to play the whole game over again, which I'm probably not going to do. What I could do is, if I have an important save game, I can take it out of the save game folder and treasure it somewhere. But I don't think I'm gonna go that far, because I have other things to do, like play this game, for example. It shouldn't be this difficult. I arrived in time, apparently just in time. Completely bedridden, Jeremiah is a shadow of his old self, appearing many pounds and a few shades lighter. His explanation for calling to me is still unclear. He speaks of strange happenings around the estate, probably that he is unable to rectify in his weakened state, and has requested I investigate. I, of course, agreed. Before I could ponder where to begin my exploration, the servant who showed me to Jeremiah's room screamed from downstairs. Often where to begin is the most difficult step. Even the biggest journey starts with you stumbling over your own feet. Aaron, oh, he's so happy. Oh, it kind of looks better. Hello. How does he manage to laugh like that twice and produce the same amount of laughter, or the same? Well, I'm just dicking around. But what I'm saying is, it's just an audio file on a loop. I don't think we have to look under the stairs yet, because I think that was a Wes Craven movie, People Under the Stairs. But yeah, always check every nook and cranny before you cross through a door, because you might not be able to get back into the area you were just in. Please don't crash, because it has a tendency to crash when you cross.
Jam won't budge.
Can't go back there. If there was something there and you didn't pick it up, you're boned. You're boned like a fish.
Can you
Even though fish don't have bones.
As the bonds of flesh are broken and the world becomes apparent.
He just went full exorcist on us. At least he didn't barf green stuff on top of me. Yeah, bullets. Hang on, I think scrying consumes less energy if you have the Gelsi or the Snot rock. I think that's like, it's not green, I think it's blean. No, it's green. It consumes no power. Oh, yeah. That's one thing I forgot. If you scry with the stone in hand, you consume no mana. And I think that only works for scrying. It's one of those little things you have to know when you play this game. Geronimo! Behind you! I didn't know ghosts had a reflection. Well, then this might be a magical mirror. Whoop-de-doo! Let the shoe sting begin. That's Elizabeth. Oh, that was a good shot there, huh? That was a headshot, I think, but it's hard to tell because as far as gun physics go, you can hardly tell whether your bullet connected with something or not. It's just your crosshair goes green when you're over a target, but that doesn't mean you're gonna hit it. You're too happy. I'm a crouch. Missed me. Oh, now you got me. The reason why I'm crouching is because, like, if you try to shoot at these howlers while standing up, being fully erect, that is. I said erect. You will overshoot them. They will basically run under your line of fire. If you crouch, they almost as much as pretty much just run straight into your barrel. So that makes the shoot thing a little easier. Hello? Keto? Oh. Bring it on. Doesn't increase your aim. Crouching does not improve your aim. It just lowers your line of fire a bit. Hello? Running all the way. I mean, back. Still got me. You got me again. Yeah, this one's different. Has a different color, so that means he's a tough one. I'm not gonna heal myself just yet. I think you should best only, at least in normal difficulty, because forgot to mention that I'm playing it on normal difficulty. You kind of have to press the heal button in the first easy difficulty. In easy difficulty level. You don't have to press the heal button. It heals you automatically. But the healing is not instantaneous. Your health regenerates at a slower pace. It's not insta-health. On normal difficulty, you have to select or have a key bound to healing because you need to heal yourself. And I guess you only want to heal yourself once your health drops below 50. Yeah, and that noise you hear is an amplifier stone. Wait, hang on. That noise. It's on top of this ledge thing. Balcony thing. This is like a greenhouse, yeah. There's another greenhouse though, later on, much later on. It's much nicer, and it has nice tenants or occupants, much nicer tenants and occupants. But it's on that ledge thing, balcony. Everything really looks better. It's not by much, but it is a huge improvement compared to those really shoddy. Some of the textures were okay, but like some edges like this, it's like they just didn't really they didn't stretch or match them properly onto the structure that they were supposed to be fitted on. Oh hi. I don't get that one. You know, what would have been funnier is that, like, this is possible in the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine, like, it's one of the first engines that I remember where you could adjust the speed of the game. And it would have been fun if you upgrade the scrying ability, if you find amplifiers, and you upgrade your scrying ability, that beyond a certain amplification, you would get slow-mo. You would get like some sort of a slow-mo effect. The game would play at a slower pace. That would have been a nice addition to this game, because sometimes if you're up against howlers, as you can probably tell, they're kind of hard to hit. But even though the Unreal Engine had that ability, it's even like if you play the original Unreal game, you can slow down the game with a slider before it crashes, I think. That's probably why they didn't do it. I remember the game getting unstable when even in some cases I fiddled with the Unreal game and I bound some keys to game speed so I could fake some sort of a slow-mo effect, but the game became unstable when you do that. Or the slow-mo, it stopped working after a certain point. Yeah. This strange crystalline stone seems to be a source of finite power that may be used to increase the power of effectiveness of my spell casting. I must keep my eyes peeled and my ears open for pinkish hue and low hum. It's pinkish hue and low hum. I have just returned from the Standing Stones. Whatever inspired an ancient people to build these stones out on that windswept isle, I cannot guess. While I have seen sights like this before, something about the stones has resonance within me. Why would an ancient people trouble themselves to build these monoliths on such an isolated island? It would have been far easier to establish a similar ritual area on the mainland itself. Yeah, but then that would be too easy. You know, like in religion or culture, sects, and human sacrifice, it should never be that easy. I mean, look at the Mayans. No, wait. Look at the Aztecs. Or was it the Incas? I mean, no, I think it was the Aztecs. They wouldn't just sacrifice people. They went all the way up a high mountain to sacrifice people on. Yeah, until they got lightheaded because of the lack of oxygen. That's how high up they went, just to sacrifice people, because they had to be close to their gods. Patrick? Oh no, that's not Patrick. Someone else wrote this. I find it curious that for as long as my family has owned this house, no one has taken it upon themselves to truly research the land which we own. Considering I had not returned to the manor since I was a child, I never realized the curious nature of my inheritance. I'm going to stop doing that. Why does this area have such a strange collection of archaeological artifacts? Well, I strongly doubt there's any connection between the Neolithic stones, a decaying monastery, and the tower that the estate was built in, the Tower of Flints, like from Gormenghast. Because that's what this reminds, like in Gormenghast, the book, the Mervyn Peake book, the whole structure of the castle Gormenghast is built around this huge, I'm knocking my mic about, the Tower of Flints, which houses a whole bunch of owls that read the book. It's really good. It's actually a trilogy, but the last bit of the trilogy is kind of weird because at that point Mervyn Peake's mental health was deteriorating so far. It's really weird. It's kind of unpleasant to read. But anyway, I digress. And the tower that the estate was built and wraps itself around. The significance of 3 major archaeological sites cannot be denied. The tower is a local legend itself. Supposedly during a great storm, the tower just appeared on this site. Of course, no one can tell me when this happened because everyone was out for dinner. All I can tell is that it's a gutted shell of what it once was. No doubt, this is why it has been sealed off for so long. The monastery is now a crumbled ruin. It certainly is just a remnant of some reclusive order of monks. Seems that Ireland is dotted with these retreats. And it is in real life. It's full of monasteries. I've been there a while, so I will have to travel out to the island someday. Perhaps I will take the children. Joseph. That's nice, Joseph. Do something with the kids. Let's go talk to, no, I'm back. Wait, I picked up the stone, right? Did I just find a glitch? No. That's weird. Didn't I pick up the stone? I'm confused now. Could be. All the reading, it throws me off. I got my eye on you amplifier stone bitch thing. Let's talk to the boss. I mean, my former commander-in-chief type of commander, boss man in the army.
Those beasts were after me.
What in God's name were those things?
They're called howlers. And while I've never seen one before tonight, I've heard of them for years.
Those weren't natural, my friend. We're fighting more than superstitions here.
Perhaps I was being naive not to tell you, but there might be something more sinister at work here. When I was a boy, I encountered something I can't quite explain. You see, there was this isle of standing stones that sits just off the estate. Someone had carved a sigil into each of the stones, something indiscernible. Father had many books on the occult, one of which contained a sketch of that very symbol. I took my brothers and sisters out to the island and read from my father's book.
Well, what happened?
Something answered. The ocean began to boil, and a great wind whipped against us as we stood in the circle, and my siblings huddled to the ground in fear. Eventually, the wind died, and the sea settled. Patrick, I know it sounds like the ravings of a dying man, but I believe those standing stones had something to do with this. What has once been a taint upon this family has now begun to manifest itself.
But you told me you're dying. Doesn't this curse end with you?
Who knows? My brothers and sisters are dead, but I don't think they're really gone. I've heard some servants whispering. They think they've seen Lisbeth on the estate. My family has come for me. I sense them, Patrick. By now, you and I know the supernatural exists. You saw the Howlers. And what about our encounters with the Tersante during the war? You still even carry the Gelzebah stone with you.
It's a token of the shaman's life I took. That's all.
I found a scroll with a picture of the Gelzebah on it. I believe it contains the way to awaken the stone's dormant power.
Very well. Let me study this scroll overnight, and I'll see what I can do in the morning.
This house still hides many secrets. I'm counting on you to reveal them and put an end to this mess.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, you can't really cast any spells without the Gelzebah stone. And I think that will be a thing in the distant future. Distant future? Hang on, I thought I should say something now. Around tea time in the distant future. No? No, never mind. I can't remember that. Yeah, I'm picking up a spell. Hello! Oh, that was... Well, that's not really, like, because Japanese people do have a tendency to, you know... They say hero because they don't really have an L in there. No, I'm not gonna go there. The scroll Jeremiah gave me has revealed a powerful spell. It seems that with proper concentration and focus of my mana... Yes, I have some in my colon. Why would I have it in my colon? Because I am a stupid kid that only still makes poopy jokes. I am able to release ethereal bolts of ectoplasm from my hand. Just be sure not to touch yourself when you're doing that, because you might burn your penis. And your balls. Unreliable at range, the mystical damage seems quite effective in close quarters. What we're gonna do right off the bat now is we're gonna assign it first. So now you can toggle. And I'm gonna amplify it with my amplifying stone, because that's what you do. Hang on. Give me the gun. Yoink! There. And the color should change a bit now. What? Well, change. I haven't shown you what it looks like without being amplified, so... balls to that. But the more you amplify it, the more... snopsicles you get. Yeah, or ectoplasmic balls you get. Save. Must. I'm gonna save here because... There. Bullets. Ah, I always like bullets for breakfast. Is it daytime outside or what? He's got some sort of a lion skin on his head, and he's smashing what appears to be a hydra. Is that like gilded? Is that the... No, I don't know who that is. It's kind of stupid. Cause I did have some, you know, art history training in school because of the... Well, I did go to art school, so you do get art history classes, and I don't remember what this is. Hello, I'm a bust of Edgar Allan Poe-ish, but not. I think the textures of the environment surroundings have been improved, but not really the textures of certain objects or characters. We're gonna talk to that servant.
Have you noticed anything strange going on?
Apparently, Elizabeth's room was broken into last night during the commotion.
Where's her room?
Just down the hall from here. It's quite a mess.
The butler said someone broke into Lisbeth's room. Perhaps I should investigate. Should I?
Stuck.
We'll get to these. Every door, I think. Well, almost every door. I think that's Bethany's room. Yeah, that's Bethany's room. The other one mentioned that I played this game quite a lot. That's the study key. Not because I'm quite fond of it, but it's just because at one point in my history as a gamer, I had built a PC with a graphics card. I think it was a Matrix G400 or G500 that
Won't budge.
for some reason could not handle the Quake 2 engine. And it was possible to make it run on that graphics card, but it was finicky as hell. So most of the games that I played in that period were, well, like games that used a 3D engine. Most of the games I played in that period were Unreal engines, because I managed to make it work sometimes on the Quake 2 engine, but not much. So that's probably one of the reasons why I'm somewhat more familiar with this game, because it was there and I could play it and I couldn't play the other ones that I had. As you do. And I couldn't afford at the time another graphics card
Lisbeth.
to remedy the
Why,
situation.
she was a fetching young lass. Quite the fiery temper, though. She could be placid and calm 1 minute, and then suddenly she's spitting curses and swinging her nails at you like an animal. 'Tis a pity her mother died birthing her.
Indeed.
Following her mother's death, I'd raised Lisbeth like my own. In the end, the wasting sickness got her. I'd cared for her when she was sick and watched her wither away to nothing. Pity a young woman has to die in the spring of her life. Now she rests with her poor mother at the family mausoleum. The groundskeeper
No, she doesn't.
claims to have seen her recently. Oh man, seeing a ghost is never a good omen.
Where can I find this groundskeeper?
He's out in the gardens. You can get there through the kitchen.
Your knowledge is appreciated. Thank you.
To get there through the kitchen, that's gonna be easy. No. It's an ordeal to get there through the kitchen. Oh, and by the way, her mother is not resting either. They're both kind of like not doing that. I spoke with a maid about Lisbeth's sibling, the sibling's mother, Eveline, apparently died while giving birth to her, and a housekeeper filled the void of her maternal absence. She said Lisbeth was a very beautiful girl, with a short, violent fuse, who passed away from a wasting disease. Hey, back then it was fashionable to die from tuberculosis, because everyone had it. I take note of the irony of someone who was beautiful dying of such a heinous disease that calls for the destruction of their vanity. Yeah, I take note of the irony of someone who was dying of such a heinous disease that calls for the destruction. Why is I think the wasting was tuberculosis? How is that destruction of their vanity? The maid said that the groundskeeper believes believes to have seen Lisbeth alive. No, I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna go there. Having seen Lisbeth with my own eyes, I can only believe this maid's frightful testimony. I'll go down to the kitchen and eat some, and then have a bit of a kip, and then go back home. Try to find my way to the gardens anyway. That we're not there yet. Not by a long shot. This place is a mess. Ooh, it needs a lot more than a priest. Oh, hello. Not so pretty now, are you, surrounded by your howlers and stuff? I'm gonna take a bath. Well, actually, I'm gonna take a swim in this bathtub because it's huge. Well, it's not that huge. But no, look at it. This is Patrick. And if we're lucky, we can see the bathtub's reflection in the mirror. That's right. That's what I do when I play video games. I check on whether the mirror is actually properly functioning. This mirror is crooked, but not as crooked as I am. What? 3, 2, 1. Ah, I was too early. Damn it.
Help
Oh wait,
me!
I gotta help you first. That mate's dead anyway. Just be careful not to hit the servant, because I think that basically is game over. At least I didn't get hit by those two things. They were too busy chomping on that servant, but now I will get my comeuppance. Comeuppance? Any time now. Oh, there you are. He was cum and she was uppance. The noise of the wind is on a loop. You'd better check reality there. That's why I have the scrying stone assigned to a mouse key, because... Yeah. Hang on. And I have scrying and... like... Whenever I need to quickly scry, I have to press my mouse buttons, and then I have scrying and the stone equipped, which means I can cast the scrying spell without it consuming mana. You gotta be thorough with these things, you know. Otherwise, you always have to go into your spell wheel or weapon wheel to pick scrying, and you kind of need it often to find your way around. Or highlight your enemies. Oh yeah, now we have to look under the stairs. On nights when I cannot sleep, I look from my bed to the monastery. This is something Lisbeth wrote, I think. The reflections of the waters that separate us ripple across my bedroom walls, filling the room with waves of moonlight. If it is quiet enough and the wind is still, I can hear them chanting. Their prayers roll across the water and fall upon my ears like a lullaby, rocking me to sleep. It fills my body with such quiet peace, and yet I cannot help but wonder how something that provides so much security could at the same time haunt me. Well, the monks are dead, and if they're still chanting, there's definitely something wrong. Like, that monastery was probably destroyed by Vikings in the 10th century after, or yeah, something like that. And then if they're still, well, they're not destroyed by Vikings. That's usually what happened with monasteries in Ireland. But this one isn't. This one had the demise of this monastery had a slightly different. There was a slightly different reason why that happened. I'm certainly not responsible for it, mostly. At midnight, the chanting stops. The brilliant lights of the monastery go black except for the tiny glow that emanates from the entrance to the catacombs. As I watch that single light, I can see shadows of the monks at the entrance. It's then that I feel a slow creeping dread rise from my stomach, as if the island somehow has a hold of me. I've overheard bits and pieces of a story from hushed conversations about the monks who died a horrible death years ago among these grounds. It is said their tortured souls were put to rest within the catacombs, and that their two brothers have stood guard at the entrance each night since. I cannot help but wonder why. What are they waiting for? Christmas? Hanukkah? Kwanzaa? Yeah. Or hoping to ward off? Are they bound to the island with the same unknown force as I? The Lord works in mysterious ways, but how can a just God allow his own flock to die within sacred grounds? It happens all the time. If you're in a monastery or a church and you died on sacred grounds. That's why the guys from Highlander couldn't kill each other on sacred grounds. But then, of course, in the sequels, that was totally turned to shit. Like, at least the Highlander had Queen doing the original soundtrack. Who wants to live forever? Surely there is another force working among us. One capable of pure evil. A loving God could never allow such pain and agony. Is it that force that eats at me at night and leaves my dreams unsettled? Are the waters enough to keep me safe? I wish just once I could lie in the grass outside the catacombs for a night and put these haunted dreams to rest. Were you gonna lie in the grass outside at night? You're gonna get wet because of the dew. It's gonna get really cold, and I must end these nightly visions and seek the truth. There. Okay. More howler killing. Ah, it's a green one. He's nice and green. This is bleen. No, it's still green. More reading to do. More reading to do. Okay. Somebody died while giving birth to a child here, but why did they have... why would you put cow dung on the bed as well as blood? No wonder that poor woman died. She was... Yes, we have to use cow shit to deliver this child. No, you don't. She'll get an infection. What is wrong with you people? At least it looks like cow dung. Oh, hi, Lars. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's do a what do you call it? One of those dances you do around a stool, a seat, and then the music stops, and then you have to sit down, and the one who doesn't get into a seat on the right time gets shot in the face twice. Russian roulette? No. No, more action first. First we get more action, and then we get more reading. He closed the door, or he opened the door. The Doormaster. That was a Dennis Leary quote, I think. Why am I doing that? Yeah. Backpedaling the game. And if you don't know this, you won't get into the servants area, which is a loot area. And the game won't allow you to get back here. That's one of the first times you encounter there's no going back because you missed the key. And that door opens because you can see it has a slightly brighter tint than that one's just a dud. Or at least at this point in the level. But that one, of course, isn't a dud because it is somehow highlighted. Oh, I thought I was going to hit a load screen. That one's got it. There's a witch. I don't know what the hell. She got weird feet. And this guy lost his head again. And that's a nightmare. That's a succubus or an incubus. And that's a rather large-chested lady. Well, at least the imp has lots of room to sit then. And he has a nice bosom for a pillow.
Need a key.
So happy. See? It still kind of gives you a chance to go back there.
Jammed.
But then Aronson, at least I think it's Aaron, closes the door and you have no way of going back to that servant's key, or servant's room key. It's truly a pity that my dear wife, Eveline, passed away birthing Lisbeth. She would have loved to see them all grow. They all grow down here. I cannot help but think that she would have been able to tame this wild streak that they all have exhibited lately. A mother's soothing influence. I unfortunately cannot offer them this solace. Dramatic pause. I wish I could understand what brought on this recent behavior. I have received a letter today from Ambrose's... Is it Ambrose? Ambrose is the guy with the axe. Yeah. A letter today from Ambrose's boarding school. He has been expelled. I don't know what to do with that boy. With the behavior of the children also appalling, I have no choice but to bring them home. I'm going to faint. Perhaps I can find a tutor. I hope being under my watchful eye will calm their spirits. The last 6 weeks have been terrible. The tutor was a complete disaster. In fact, the poor man just packed his bags and left at night. Any form of discipline is hopeless with Ambrose, and almost seems completely lost on the others. The only thing I have been able to do is play on their interests. I have noticed that each child has their own avid curiosity. Strange to see, it manifests at such an early age. But who am I to discourage the one moment of peace I can find with these assholes? I mean them. I now understand why the children are behaving wildly. Jeremiah came to me frightened and crying like a little bitch. Several years ago, the children broke into my library and procured one of my research books without my knowledge. But how was I to know? A 12-year-old boy would take interest in such dusty tomes. I do not know what the passage they read, but I suspect that it has led to the current predicament concerning their behavior and eccentricities. Jeremiah says they woke the spirits of the island. Hopefully I can determine what the children have done. Perhaps there's a solution. I'm constipated. I have pored over the volumes of research. I have pored over the volumes of research, and I am no closer to understanding what Jeremiah and the children have conjured. None of these incantations in the book would have caused this to happen. Calling a demon or consulting spirits should not have such long-lasting, disturbing effect. Yeah, even demons have a half-life of 50,000 years. I even traveled to the stones. Nothing there gave me clues to what has happened. Perhaps if they had only told me at the time, I would have more insight. Now any clues would be long gone. I have determined the stones are some sort of focus. Perhaps there is a reason so many people have been attracted and repulsed by the island at the same time. No, that's impossible. I'll implode if I read that again. It seems that my own fascination with the standing stones has wrought its corruption upon my children. Joseph. That was long. I should stop doing that with my voice. Another load screen. Yeah. Don't crash. Oh, I'll select my... hang on, what do I have in my inventory? Yeah, select my health.
Jammed.
It's jammed. With jam. Strawberry. I know of only one person who would jam my Raider with strawberry jam. Lone Star. Which is like the loaning company. And now we will meet a portly lady. I think it's called Portly, or I could just call her Fat. I'm not
Is that the door to the gardens?
Yes, it is. However, I don't have the key. I lent it to the maid. I believe she's cleaning Herr Keisinger's room today. It's located in the east wing of the house.
Thanks.
Keisinger?
I appreciate your help.
Keisinger? That sounds like a German name. He must be bad. I hear a scrying stone, but it's not out here. It's in the basement. So I am hiding in this dumbwaiter so I can, like, peekaboo, come out and scare the shit out of your ass, but it kind of backfired on me because you know I'm in here, am I? Yeah, you know I'm in here, dude. Yeah, sorry. A nice try. I tried, yeah. Thanks for the effort.
Won't budge.
Oh, Lisbeth, are you going to throw rocks at me again? Such a temper. That was not challenging at all. Well, seeing as that's another thing I noticed every time I did recordings of this game, and I don't know why this is. If somebody has an explanation for this, please help me and explain it. When I record games based on the Unreal Engine, the first one, the size of the recording, the video file, the footage is extremely, ridiculously small. And I don't know why that is. Is this because OBS or any other type of game capturing software has to basically write down all the effects that you see on screen? Wouldn't it then be simply easier to put like some sort of a device between your monitor and your... which I have, but yeah, I just can't seem to get the sound to work with the Elgato game capture thing. Yeah, what am I... Anyway, the file size is always ridiculously small when I record this, specifically games based on the Unreal Engine. It's probably because of the absence of all kinds of weird special effects that software doesn't have to compute. Load screen, don't crash. The good thing, of course, about OBS is that even if your game crashes and you're doing monitor capture, it keeps on recording. Or even if you're not doing monitor capture. There you go. Happened. Okay. It seems that the game crashed, and I have not saved the game since the guest room. Yes, that's how stupid I was. So what I'm gonna do is now load the game, and then I'm gonna play all the way back to the portly lady and get the key, and then go to Kaisinger's room, and then that's it. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna call that a Let's Play session, so that's all for now. See you soon, until next time.